I request to play the song.
प्रस्तुत करते हैं आइसो शांति गीत, रचना डॉक्टर पी.के. जनार्दन कुरु, संगीत निर्देशन वेलायुधन इडचेरियन, वाद्यवृंद निर्देशन उदयन अंजल, गायक कलाकार किशोर कोल्लम, सरिता राजी, ध्वनि मुद्रण राजीव शिवा, मिश्रा स्टूडियो तिरुवनंतपुरम। तुमने कच्चा करते खून की कितने दरिया यहाँ करो ये खून दीजिए, अब नहीं और जंगे अभियान, दुनिया को गले पे नचाने जाओ बिछाने वाले। नहीं नहीं मैदाने जंगे अब नहीं कोई शिकायत यहाँ, नहीं नहीं मैदाने जंगे अब नहीं कोई शिकारी यहाँ, नहीं नहीं अब और लड़ाई नहीं हो कोई शिकारी भी, नहीं नहीं अब और लड़ाई नहीं हो कोई शिकारी भी। गंध भरा है अहिंसा का, आओ भर दे इस खुशबू से सारी सारी दुनिया को। चलो उड़ाने हथियारों की खजाने सारी दुनिया से, चलो बहाने प्यार की नदियां, मुनाफा नफरत की नहीं। प्यार का सुर है शांति का सुर, युद्ध मौत है जिंदगी नहीं है संदेश अहिंसों का, युद्ध मौत है जिंदगी नहीं है संदेश अहिंसों का।
So, friends and comrades, so thank you, Mr. Velayathan and Janardhan Karu. Thanks for wonderful time. So friends, let's start on the occasion of 75th birthday anniversary of World Peace Council. So, Ramesh Chandra Peace Award function. I heartily welcome all of you, and our three veterans are here: Sitaram, Yechuri garu, D.Raja garu, and Yadavreddy garu. So before that, just I want to give brief introduction on the World Peace Council. Dear friends, in August 1948, a World Congress of Intellectuals for Peace was held in Wrocław, Poland. This gathering established a permanent organization called the International Liaison Committee of Intellectuals for Peace, a group which joined with another international organization, the Women's International Democratic Federation, to convene a second international conclave in Paris in April 1949. A meeting designated the World Congress of Partisans for Peace. Some 2,000 delegates from 75 countries were in attendance at this foundation gathering in the French capital. A new permanent organization emerged from the April 1949 conclave, the World Committee of Partisans for Peace. At a second World Congress, the Committee of Partisans for Peace held in Warsaw in November 1950, this group adopted the new name World Peace Council. Hence, the World Peace Council was born. This year, the 75th anniversary of the World Peace Council was celebrated throughout the world. In India, today we are celebrating this event by honoring three veterans of our peace and solidarity movement. Now, let me call Comrade Sitaram Yechuri garu and Comrade D.Raja garu and Yadavreddy garu to come onto the dais. Standing.
No, I think we called them.
Okay. Now I request Mr. KVL.
This gave you first.
Yeah. Mr. Binu, please come on and just honor by Shah, Sitaram. Shirala and good push.
Now KVL.
Mr. KVL. To D.Raja garu. Mr. Anjan Mera. Yadavreddy garu. Now I request World Peace Council President Mr. Pallab Sen Gupta to address the gathering.
Comrades, it's a really very happy hour for us and happy event also for us that we are celebrating 75th years of the World Peace Council. I think Comrade Sudhakar briefed a little about the formation of the World Peace Council. Where he finished, I just wanted to start and I wanted to speak something about Comrade Ramesh Chandra. And later on, of course, three honored guests also will be speaking and addressing these historic gatherings. After 1950, when World Peace Council was formed, its headquarters was in Paris. But when this Cold War started, then General de Gaulle not only removed World Peace Council, he also removed the office of the World Federation of Democratic Youth from Paris. So finally, at that time, till 2022, a neutral country called Finland, they hosted the headquarters of the World Peace Council in Helsinki. And from there, from 1954 to 1991, the headquarters of World Peace Council was in Helsinki. And maybe you cannot even dream about what was World Peace Council all those days. The representatives from 78 countries were working there in World Peace Council. There is around 29 members of World Peace Council Bureau who are means the secretariat. They are working. And not a single country was left which was not a member of the World Peace Council. Till 61 or 62, World Peace Council was not very much active, to be honest. But here today also I said that sometimes the contribution of personality does matter. When Ramesh Chandra became a General Secretary of World Peace Council representing All India Peace Council, the World Peace Council started to change itself. It is not become really a so-called peace organization, but they understand that peace and solidarity is linked to each other. It's a two-in-one. So from then, the World Peace Council started while talking about nuclear disarmament, against atomic bomb and everything. At the same time, they started to declare their solidarity with the liberation movement. So you cannot, undermine the role played by World Peace Council for liberation of African continent, liberation of Asian continent. Even in particular, we can say the role of World Peace Council fight against apartheid, then support to the Vietnam struggle, and last to the liberation of the Bangladesh, which unfortunately passing through a very difficult period. And at the same time, to organize rallies in every capital city against the nuclearization of Pacific Oceans, continuation of bombing, producing nuclear bomb, and demanding the nuclear disarmament. Every city, I remember in 1983, perhaps Sitaram can remind me, there was a huge rally in Delhi, huge rally in Boats Club. Everybody was there to address that rally. And it is also under the leadership of Ramesh Chandra. His personal initiative, one of the remarkable rally was being organized in Washington DC. And it is under his leadership, World Peace Council also got connected with the UN system. World Peace Council now has a consultative status A. That means in every General Assembly, World Peace Council has a chance to address for 7 minutes to represent its organization and its principle and policies. So till 1991, everything was fantastic. We had a big AIPS office also in Delhi, and the office was always full of leading intellectual from Jawaharlal Nehru University. But situation changed so fast just after the collapse of the Soviet Union. Then suddenly we found all our progressive intellectuals left us. Only 2 or 3 people were there who had a tremendous confidence that no, AIPS will survive. AIPS will survive and AIPS has to survive. I can tell you, in the good heydays of World Peace Council, Comrade Sitaram Yechuri was also one of the General Secretary of All India Peace and Solidarity Organization. So I should say he is one of the most veteran who is now attending our this meeting. And when we are passing through a very difficult period, I remember that day. It was also in A.K. Gopalan Bhavan, in presence of D.Raja and Sitaram Yechuri, A.B. Vardhan. And I am, how to say, feeling very much honored that Comrade Surjit called. I received a telephone call that I have to go to the Surjit Bhavan. Then A.K. Gopalan Bhavan. Sorry. So then what happened? Comrade Surjit said, Pallab, you have finished your mandate in UFD. Now you have to take care of All India Peace and Solidarity Organization. We started with M.A. Baby. M.A. Baby was also for some time was the General Secretary of the IPSO. But real initiative was in Patna, 2007, when we reorganized our All India Peace and Solidarity Organization. And from the beginning, those people who really help us, politically, organizationally, and they guide us to build AISF brick by brick. These 3 comrades are here. So, without taking much of time, I think that we should start the real part of the celebration. And I am requesting Comrade Sudhakar to come and call them.
Memento will be given by Mudgil to Sitaram Yechuri garu. Dr. Shanti garu, D.Raja. Memento will be given by Shantaji to D.Raja. Naina ji, आप भी सामने हैं.
This side.
उधर. Nainar ji.
Nainar, I'm here.
Yeah, he's there. Yadavreddy guy. Certificate spot, kindly by Harchand and Arun ji.
It is not finished.
No one.
Some more are there.
On the occasion of the 75th anniversary of World Peace Council, All India Peace and Solidarity Organization has the privilege of honoring Sitaram Yechuri for outstanding contribution in building peace and solidarity.
Yes. Now, D.Raja.
Comrade Yechuri, please.
I am getting.
Okay. Medal spot.
Come.
Name is there.
One thing more.
Yes, name is there.
One medal also. Medal by.
Medals will be given by Vallabh Sen.
First,
Okay.
group photo. Okay. But now,
Hold it.
group photo. One more.
Yeah.
Just wait. Allah is giving one medal. So,
Yeah. Medal will be given to Sitaram Yechuri garu by Vallabh Sen.
it is bit heavy. Yes.
Good.
To D.Raja garu.
To D.Raja garu.
Raja garu? Telugu garu. Okay.
To Yadavreddy.
Yadavreddy garu.
Yadavreddy.
And then let us have one group photograph. Yes.
That is
Yes. Yes. Okay. So, complete. Of course, this felicitation.
Comrade, 1 second, please.
Okay. 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 Good, Charu.
Yes. From Punjab.
Okay, good.
from Punjab delegation, Shalposh to Vallabh Sen Gupta.
Very good.
नीचे.
ये नीचे रहेगा अभी ऊपर से ऊपर जाएगा नहीं ऊपर ही सारे रेडी आओगे ना फोटो
Good, good. लोगों के साथ है.
Yes, yes. My time has not come yet. So, comrade, take your seat, please. Because all you are the, how to say, patient of sugar, so there is no mithai for you. Otherwise, we could have offered you some mithai. Anyway, now I am requesting Comrade Sitaram Yechuri to say a few words, because you are also in IPS, so you also have seen Ramesh Chandra, you have a experience to work with him. So,
वैसा कर
Yeah, please.
गुड फ्रॉम डायरेक्शन
no problem.
Well, I didn't expect to give a speech here, but I was greatly honored to be given this Ramesh Chandra Peace Award today by Vallabh, who's actually succeeded Comrade Ramesh Chandra as the next Indian to be the President of the World Peace Council. And I hope that he'll also have as illustrious a period that Ramesh had in the World Peace Council. Well, I joined or asked by the party to join the peace movement. That was in the mid-1980s. We had long discussions with Comrade Ramesh Chandra and other leaders of the World Peace Council, and not only the World Peace Council, but all the federal organizations that were then connected with the CPSU. Till 1980s, the CPSU and all the international communist movement recognized that there will be only one communist party in every country. So we were not that one in India, CPIM. So obviously, but then after the 77 elections and after the situation in India became different, there was a rethink, and the Soviet CPSU had re-evaluated that position, and it came out with a thesis saying that it is possible to have multiple communist parties in each country. And then the discussion began saying that we should join all these international fora. And that was in 1985 the thing started. So we had long discussions. I was very young then, but drafted by the party to be part of those discussions. That's when I interacted with Ramesh Chandra for the first time. By then, Ramesh was an international figure, all right, at his own right, but he was considered to be the Secretary General of the People's United Nations. While United Nations was government united for the government, the World Peace Council was considered as the People's United Nations. And it was doing a tremendous amount of work in propagating the ideals of peace. And what has now been given to us in a plaque, a memorandum, says that peace never comes. It has to be fought and won. And that is something, the guiding principle of the World Peace Council. And which is very relevant in today's world today. I'll just come to that in a minute. But since we joined in 1986, I became a General Secretary of the IPSO. And then, of course, interactions with Ramesh went on for very frequently and very long time, and in many parts of the world. So we would be interacting in various countries and discussing these very issues of how to proceed with it and what should be the new initiatives that have to be taken. The whole point was to set the agenda for world peace. That who will take the initiative in new treaties that have to come up, that there will be no Star Wars, no deployment of nuclear weapons in space. All these treaties that you later hear of, what are called the START, or various other things, were all product of suggestions made by the World Peace Council that the Soviet Union picked up and then initiated international negotiations. So in that sense, the World Peace Council played an extremely important role in putting forward proposals, not only before the nuclear powers of the world then, but also before the people of the world. And it was these assemblies of the World Peace Council that really mobilized a large section of the people. And with Ramesh's taking over as the presidency, as Pallab was very briefly hinting away, that it was not only World Peace Council, but without changing the nomenclature, it became a Peace and Solidarity Council. And the support to the national liberation struggles was an important element. In those days, many of the older comrades here will remember, our passports used to be stamped, printed, saying not valid for South Africa and Israel. So that was the degree of international solidarity that India had, which is represented through the IPSO, but also that the world followed at that time, and the World Peace Council was the biggest champion of national liberation struggles all over the place. So Ramesh played a stellar role in this entire process, till of course the demise and the dismantling of socialism in the USSR. But the concepts that were thrown up by the World Peace Council then, I think are more relevant today. Today, peace has to be fought and won. So there is going to be a war for peace. And that is something we must realize in today's world. What is happening in Gaza, the genocide that Israel is conducting against the Palestinians, what is happening in Somalia, what is happening in Rwanda, in various countries of the world, and how these ethnic divisions and genocides are happening in many countries, and where there is a rightward political shift in the world, where using xenophobia and every other divisive phenomenon, you have today international finance capital wanting to consolidate its role and rule. And in order to do that, all sorts of divisiveness is not merely promoted and encouraged, but it's actually supported and financed. And that sort of a rightward shift we unfortunately see in India as well. And we are seeing what happened, though we have tried to temper down the arrogance of the Modi government and brought him down not to have a majority. But that doesn't seem to work on them. I mean, though it's a setback to them. But for him, it's business as usual. And it continues that way. So there's a very big battles ahead, even in India for us. There's international solidarity that is required for all over the world, particularly in Palestine at the current moment. There's there's national solidarity that is required in the defense of our country's unity, integrity, in defense of our minorities. And at the same time, there is a need for fighting and winning peace with growing tensions on both sides of our border. So this is a very challenging period. And Ramesh comes to my mind because he met each one of these challenges. He rose to the occasion in the entire in the entire Cold War situation, a very hostile period then for all such movements. There would be counter movements to World Peace Council, to everything, World Youth Federation, World Students, International Union of Students. There will be a counter set up by imperialists, and there will be imperialist organizations that will confront the progressive organizations. But Ramesh managed to steer through this entire period very successfully. And I think the World Peace Council's character today owes a lot to Ramesh Chandra. And he is the one who shaped it. And eventually, unfortunately, because of the dismantling, when all these organizations really fell out of, in the sense, their spheres of influence were actually reduced and narrowed very, very severely. At that stage, Ramesh was back in India. He was back with us at the IPSO, and that was, of course, the last days of his life here. But then today, I'm glad that in his name, this award has been instituted. Apart from being honored to receive it here, I think we should recollect and reaffirm our resoluteness in facing the current challenges and in facing the hostile right-wing shift in the world today and meeting those challenges. I think the World Peace Council will stand up to that task, and under Pallab's leadership now, it will carry it forward. So, all the best to you, to Pallab and to the ISO and to the
Now I am calling upon Comrade D.Raja, General Secretary of the CPI, and also former Presidium member of the All India Peace and Solidarity Organization. Comrade Pallav Sangupta, the President World Peace Council, Comrade Sitaram Yechuri, my beloved friend Yadavreddy garu, friends, comrades. At the outset, I express my gratitude to the present leadership of ITSO for recognizing our work in the peace movement and honoring us, awarding Ramesh Chandra Medal. As Comrade Pallav said, I was also in the presidium of ITSO for quite some time. I did whatever I could do as member of the presidium of ITSO. Comrades, Comrade Ramesh, he was one of the towering personalities of, I can use the communist movement, the solidarity movement in the world. I was Secretary of All India Youth Federation in Tamil Nadu between 1975 to 1985. During that period only, I came to meet Comrade Ramesh Chandra. He came to Chennai. He was to address a huge meeting. That was the time the people of South Africa were fighting against apartheid. And Comrade Ramesh made such a fantastic speech which thrilled everybody, which inspired everybody attending that meeting. That was the first time I could hear Ramesh addressing such a crowd. Later on, from 1985 to 1990, I was General Secretary of All India Youth Federation. I was to attend one meeting of the World Federation of Democratic Youth. That was a meeting held in Berlin. There, Comrade Ramesh Chandra was invited as a special guest to address the delegates. Comrade Ramesh spoke on world peace, development, everything. I could see the young people who gathered there from different parts of the world. They could get thrilled hearing. Many of you must have heard, I don't know, Ramesh speaking. Ramesh was a great orator and very inspiring orator, Ramesh. So I could see in Berlin the young people from different parts of the world getting inspired and motivated by the eloquent speech made by Ramesh. Later on, I became his colleague in the party leadership, National Council of our party, the Communist Party of India. Comrade Ramesh was a great visionary. He was a champion for world peace. At the same time, how to fight for peace and development in the world. It was Ramesh who gave that call, save the world, change the world. It was Ramesh who gave that call. And Ramesh was so popular at global level. Once I had been to the Soviet Union that time. I was traveling. I had a stopover at Tashkent, Uzbekistan. I walked out of the aircraft. I could see huge portrait of Ramesh Chandra. I never saw such a portrait of any Indian leader. Tashkent airport. I could see Ramesh
such huge portrait. That was the respect, that was the love Comrade Ramesh Chandra had across the world. Later on, I had the very close association with Comrade Perin Ramesh Chandra. She was also a great champion of peace. She was General Secretary of EPSO, but great fighter and champion of world peace. When we talk of Ramesh Chandra, we cannot forget Perin Ramesh Chandra. That's why I remind you comrades, Perin was such a great person, woman leader, totally dedicated to peace and solidarity movement in the country, traveling across the... Ramesh was traveling across the world, Perin was traveling across the country and building peace and solidarity. So now we have built, we have established this medal in the name of Ramesh. For that I congratulate the present EPSO leadership for making a medal in the name of Comrade Ramesh. Comrades, when we talk of peace and solidarity, Comrade Sitaram explained what is happening in the world. Now we have three challenges I would like to bring to your notice. One, as Comrade Sitaram said, this genocide continued by Israel. It was genocide. It was war on the people of Palestine. And United Nations passed a resolution proposing two-state solution. Israel and Palestine can coexist. Palestine can have the right to have its own homeland with Jerusalem as capital. It is UN resolution, but Israel doesn't recognize that resolution. International Court of Justice condemned Israel, what is happening in Gaza, but Israel doesn't care, and Israel is backed by US and all other NATO powers. Still, how long the war on Palestine will continue? And Israel has declared they will finish up Palestinian people. How come? As India, we have been supporting Palestinian cause since the days of our freedom movement. It was Gandhi who said, if France belongs to French, if Britain belongs to English, Palestine should belong to Arabs. It was Gandhi who said, and we were standing by Palestine. Yasser Arafat, how he was hailed in India, we all know. But once Modi came to power, Modi immediately expressed his solidarity on behalf of 140 people. We expressed support to Israel. Then it was condemned. We all condemned, people of India condemned. Then they had to do some trick how to get out of that criticism. So we should see how long this Israel-Palestine conflict will continue. So we need a strong solidarity movement. Many places it is happening. In India we should see a strong solidarity movement. This is one. Secondly, the war between Russia and Ukraine going on, continues. And we have been demanding that war must be stopped. There should be dialogue. But why war continues? Because of NATO. It is NATO which is the real root cause for Russia-Ukraine conflict. Because NATO was founded in a particular context, historic situation, North Atlantic Treaty Organization. But why that NATO should continue now. Not only that, NATO is expanding. So NATO, in its effort to expand, it played its influence on Ukraine. That is how the whole crisis began. And NATO can move anywhere. I don't know in the Asian part of the world what NATO is going to do. So that is a huge problem. NATO, the emergence of NATO, the expansion of NATO in our region, that can cause difficulty. So Russia, Ukraine, unless we target NATO, NATO must go. NATO has no business to be in that part of the world. We cannot have peace there. So NATO must be targeted. And in fact, I wrote a piece in Indian Express, NATO should go. Then it has become a reference point. Many ambassadors started asking that and saying, oh, we have some other informations like that. So NATO is the problem now, and NATO is the cause for tensions in the world and warlike situation in the world. We will have to fight. This is second. Third, what is happening in Cuba? The economic embargo continues, and US imperialists are patronizing and promoting the right-wing counter-revolutionary forces in Cuba. That's what we should understand. Why US is doing subversion in Cuba. So it is a dangerous situation in Cuba. Cuba needs solidarity, and Cuba needs support of the progressive forces across the world. Otherwise, if Cuba goes, what remains in Caribbean region? We should think over. Why US is doing that? Today, the US imperialist power, it is behind all such subversive activities. It is happening in Cuba. Cuba needs real solidarity. The other one, I do not know what is going to happen in Bangladesh. Right now, it remains somewhat internal, but it can have ramifications, consequences across our region, Asian region, or across the world, because there also the imperialist powers are behind. That's what reports are coming out. The imperialist, US imperialist powers are behind. So today, who are posing threat to the world peace? We must be clear. It is US imperialism, NATO, and the allies of imperialist powers. Israel, it is backed by US, everyone knows. Cuba, these are counter-revolution. It is promoted by US, and Bangladesh, we come to know the imperialist powers are there somehow to subvert. So as peace and solidarity organization, we must be clear. We must be clear. And peace is a must. And without peace, world cannot move towards prosperity. World cannot have development. World cannot have development. But to consolidate the peace, we need solidarity movement, solidarity actions. That is where Comrade Ramachandra remains as a source of inspiration. During his time, how he could work and consolidate the peace movement, the solidarity movement. That should be the source of inspiration and guidance for us in India. As Comrade Sitaram said, across the world there is right-wing conservative forces emerging and trying to capture political power. If right-wing conservative forces capture political power, what will happen? In India also, we are witnessing similar situation. Right-wing conservative forces, they have captured already the power. They have captured the power. But as long as they remain in power, they are going to be a challenge, threat to not only world peace, for harmony among the people in our own country. And the religious revivalism that is being promoted, that is dangerous. And we need harmony, social harmony, religious harmony among the people. So many things are linked, interlinked. So YEPSO should keep in mind how to build our organization, how to bring more new forces, and how to enlighten them. Now youth, students play an important role, whether it is Latin America or Europe or in several parts of Asia. The youth and students, they are on the streets, they are fighting for some change, and we should take note of what is happening and how the youth and students are in the forefront. So peace and solidarity organization should not be seen as an organization of old people. Young people also should come, because fighting for peace is the task of young people, the youth students, and fighting for development, fighting for progress, it is the task of young people. And we must keep YEPSO as a very dynamic, very vibrant, youthful movement, and we should stand up. YEPSO should be a leading force to mobilize the people in the struggle for peace and development, not only in the world and in our own country. So I take this opportunity once again to thank the present leadership of YEPSO for honoring us, for recognizing our work. And I was in the presidium, now I am not, but I am there always with you. I was there with you yesterday, today, and I will be with you. It is our common struggle. It is our common mission, and we must carry forward our struggle. Thank you very much.
So now I called upon Comrade Yadavreddy till the Chandigarh conference, from Patna to Chandigarh. He was also member of our leadership. He was a president member of the All India Peace and Solidarity Organization. So I request him to speak.
हेल्थ बहुत अच्छा था समय पर दिक्कत हो गई मोटा हेल्थ अच्छा नहीं बहुत इंस्टीट्यूट है मेडिकल कॉलेज पांडे जी हमको जान पहचान कर
Thank you very much, Pallabji. Comrade Pallab Sen Gupta, President of World Peace Council, and Dr. Sudhakar, President member of YEPSO, Comrade Sitaram Yechuri ji, Comrade Raja ji, and friends. After senior veterans spoke, it's a difficult task for me to stand before you to speak on the specific subject. But I should thank the organizers for honoring me with this award. You may say, I don't know what kind of, what should I call it. But thank you very much for the present leadership of the APSO, in which maybe I am also there. I thank particularly Pallab Sen Gupta for involving me and inviting me to this All India Peace and Organization. In particularly from Patna conference, I think the revival has started. So Sitaram ji, Raja ji was always encouraging us to build up this organization. And we did whatever it was possible, we contributed, and it is before you. I particularly developed interest in this peace movement, particularly World Peace Council held an executive meeting in Goa. There the main topic was discussed about the world military budgets. So there I started reading to many articles and books, data is collected. Since then, I have developed very much interest in participating in this peace movement. We were there recently, Sitaram ji, Raja ji, I am telling you. We were in Yadavreddy, our friends Arun and Alchan also was there. There we were discussing, but though it was a very small meeting, but I recollected about this CPI, that Stockholm-based NGO, which studies the world budgets regularly and update every facts in their institution. There I came to know about the recent involvement of these world countries, particularly in this 2023 budgets. $2.44 trillion are allocated for this military budget. I was unable to convert them into Indian currency. I don't know whether Sitaram or Raja or Pallab Sen, with their experience, or with Arun, anybody can guide us how much Indian currency it will work out. So there in that article, so some suggestions were this amount by spending on health and education, this money would be sufficient for almost 50 years in one article and 100 years in one article. I don't know which was true in this. So imagine the kind of money we are spending on killing each other than educating or treating the patients in the world. So with this kind of things when we come across, so what kind of thing we can say about why this foolish concept of war is evolved from where and what, I don't know why. So our senior leaders, both of them, they said so many things about the peace movement and wars and international developments, particularly recent developments, this Israel genocide on Gaza, and the Bangladesh, latest developments of Bangladesh. I don't know what kind of impact it produces on neighboring countries. Any war, whichever part it happened, particularly, this impacts the society of every developing world particularly, because the developed world, they make business, they sell their arms and they benefit from this kind of wars. So it's only the impact on society will be these poor developing countries would be affected more So it is a very rightly Raja has said now that this movement, the veterans are there, they can guide, but only the youth who can fight for peace. Peace only should be achieved by fighting, as Sitaram has said. So there is a famous quotation, so it can't be begged or borrowed by paying money. One should fight for it and achieve. So I am grateful to see. I had no opportunity to meet Ramesh Chandraji, but interaction. But I heard him speaking in one meeting long back. So many things. They both of them shared with him. Even Pallab must have shared with the platform with him, and shared many experiences of his. So we are really grateful to Ramesh Chandra for contributing for the cause of the peace in the entire world, not only in India, but one Indian, we should be proud of him. One Indian rose to the level of international and world who fought for peace and solidarity in the world. So now it is a responsibility of Pallab Sen Gupta who succeeded him from India. That's what Sitaramji has said. So I really am here, whatever possible contribution still we can make for this movement. I am there for the organization, and with these few words I once again thank APSO for presenting this movement. Thank you.
I wish to thank you, our three speakers, who is reminding us our responsibility for all India peace and solidarity for coming days. I just wanted to inform you that we have also decided that we will honor this medal few foreigners, those who also contributed greatly for this peace movement and national liberation movement. Number one, Madam Bean, Vietnam. So we have decided, because her health is very bad, she is in hospital, she is lying for some few months, but still she can speak, she can understand. So maybe we will send a delegation to honor her with Ramesh Chandra, this peace medal. Then also Tran Duc Loy, Vietnam, because he also contributed greatly for building this movement. Then the General Secretary of WPC, Thanasis Pafidis, Greece. No, Pafidis, not Iraklis. Iraklis time is there, so no problem, it is Pafidis. Then Fernando Gonzalez, the Cuban fight. Now he is also the chairman of the ICAP. And Akel M.A. Takaj, Palestinian, who is also part of this movement. So we will hand over these three medals, Pafilis, Fernando's and Akel, in our next executive meeting of World Peace Council to be held in Kathmandu. But as far as Madam Bean is concerned, we are seriously considering to go for a one day to honor her and to come back. And because in presence of you both General Secretary, I also wanted to draw your attention that we have decided many, tasks. But one of the major tasks where we need not only the support of your party, all the mass organization, that is in 2nd October, we gave a call. The theme is that fight for Gandhiji's dream, secular India, free Palestine. So just to link it, this time with the Gandhiji's birthday and also ongoing struggle for Palestinian people, because Gandhiji firmly stood behind the Palestinian issue. I hope both of your party will help us to realize this program very seriously in all India level. So now we are almost doing.
Also informed about two people who are missing, who could not come.
Yes, then other two is, of course, they are supposed to be here today. Pavan Mansal, he was also one of the presidial member and Congress leader, and K. Lakshmi Narayan. He came here yesterday, and he is a minister of Puducherry government. Earlier he was in Congress, but then he now joining NRS. But still he is with us. He came and he said openly that tomorrow it will be difficult for me, so we came today. So these 5 people, and later stage we will also see to honor with this medal those who will be contributed greatly for the peace and solidarity movement. Now Sudhakar has to declare something.
Now is the time to close the meeting. First of all, let me thank all the 3 peace warriors. Thanks for coming, sir. Sitaram, Yechuri garu, Raja garu, and Yadavreddy garu. So all the way they spent some time to come over here. It gives us a lot of impetus to work more for the peace movement. Thank you very much. Now I request all of you. I think lot of discussions were made yesterday and today on 3 reports. There is a future political and organization task, and of course review on activities in future tasks, and the national and international reports. The 3 documents are adopted unanimously. Okay? Any amendments or anything? Please raise your hands. So any? Thank you. Then adopted. Thank you very much.
Entire West Bengal people are in the street, demanding proper inquiry, justice, and also made accountable to the government of West Bengal for these incidents. And we are also demanding that let there be proper inquiry and people should get the justice. So that was one resolution we sent.